told every drill instructor to fuck with me. I remember that same second that he goes, the drill instructor was like, don't worry, Mr. Tavares, we're going to show you what shock is all about. Joel, it's all right. They're trying to break you down.
It's the villain origin
Don't let
story.
these motherfuckers get to you. Like, you got this. Like, you know, like, you Gucci, bro. Like, this is what this program is intended to do. Mm-hmm. Bro, from that day on, when I tell you that I got violated, bro, I got violated. There would be times that I'm going to work and the drill instructor would literally just come up to me and literally smack me dead in my face like that. Bang!
3, 2, 1, and we're live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another episode of
Jesus.
Your host, George Mora. And coming back, we got my boy,
Yes,
Michael Vasquez.
I'm back at it again.
You already know what it is, yo. We've got one of your favorite podcasts, the second part coming at you today, bro. I've been trying to get this done for like months now.
3 months.
But you know what? We upgraded the set drastically. So, yo, everything happens for a reason. Timing happens for a reason. So, yo, I think, this is that great opportunity to get DJ Swag back on the fucking podcast. His story part 2. I know everybody's been talking about it. Everybody been hitting me up about that shit. Yo, my girl loved that fucking podcast. She's like, yo,
it was crazy.
We started watching that from like the middle of the podcast, and she's like, yo, I'm hooked. You gotta rewind the whole thing. That's it. You gotta rewind the whole thing.
It's like a movie, bro.
Exactly.
It was like we were listening to a movie that we didn't want it to end. But
Exactly. Yeah, it was like a Netflix special. All right. But anyways, we got your boy DJ Swag back on the podcast. Thank you for coming, brother. And then his manager, Alex. Just met you right now, Brody. Thank you guys for coming. Yo, just lean forward real quick. Just make sure, you're just talking on the mic.
We got the mics in our, all right.
You could bring them forward, don't worry. It's just a little weight stand,
yeah,
I'm not going to say much though, because he just told me he's going to tell me some shit that I don't even know. So I'm going to be as in shock as
well, hold up. Did you just get this manager? Is he like a new?
Yeah,
how
so
long
we
you guys known each other?
Yeah, we
we have some history.
Yeah, me and him, we know each other for years. For years? Like for a very, very long time. So he's always been in the business. And he's always he's been very educated with like the outside world. Like he knows the whole in and out. And, he was looking at me for a while and he's been seeing, the kind of work I was doing. And, me and him always had like good chemistry. Like we never fall. We always been chill. Like, so
what'd you think
he
when
knows
you got
my hustle. I know his hustle.
Yeah.
So I think like we both had a lot of respect for each other. And,
since he got out, basically we've been talking like nonstop. And he's just like, oh, I'm DJing now. And, in the beginning, like I've managed other DJs also. And he's just like, check me out. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't like, I've heard him before, but I don't know what to expect now. You've been in for 3 years.
Yeah. Haven't been relevant.
Completely.
Yeah.
Like this artist that
you don't even got music that's like up to date.
Like playing Daddy Yankee, Gasolina. So then I actually heard him play a few times. I'm like, yo, he's good. And he's good on the mic. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, he's a great speaker, bro. He's like a public speaker, bro. When I was I was literally like watching the episode from the ending, so I know exactly where we're at and like what questions to ask. And I literally had just some random dude come in my car, my friend. He came in the car and he was watching me, and he was so into it. He's like, yo, what the like glue, bro? Just like watching him say his story, like, yo, shit. And then, you popped off on TikTok too, bro. I did part 1, part 2, part 3.
Got like over 50,000 views.
Over 50,000 views, bro. Mad comments and shit.
A lot of people were asking like, when's the second part gonna come out? But
yeah, no, my DMs are on fire. Everybody asking, yo,
exactly.
You made me watch this long ass shit. I actually watched the whole thing. Like I was actually very surprised. It's literally like the first one I think is like an hour and 20 minutes, and they're like, yo, you made me sit this whole shit. I saw a few minutes and I was hooked and I had to watch it. And bro, then you just left me like that when part 2 coming out. So definitely had mad
I think
people,
what it is that like you don't really see DJ that been in prison and then they come out and they're like, all right, let me be a DJ. But you actually made it happen, and then you got where you are today. It is like a really good story to tell.
Yeah, you got a really good redemption story, bro. Like that, I'm telling you, bro. This is like a Netflix special, bro. Like if anybody, like you're his manager.
Oh,
you know
we definitely selling this shit.
You got, bro. y'all gotta find a way to do something with this, bro. Because that shit is a crazy.
Like the level he's at right now compared to 3 months ago is like 0 to 100.
0 to 100.
Yeah, like it's insane how many bookings we're getting. Like it's it's all moving really fast.
How do you think it started moving really? Why do you think it started picking up?
I think my hustle, bro.
Yeah, he's just everywhere.
Consistency.
That and just I'm very ambitious, bro. I'm like,
what do you just yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so now I'm very, very, very ambitious. Like once I set my mind on something, like I really manifest it and try to do whatever the fuck I gotta do. That's one thing my mom could definitely say about me and my little sisters. Like they've always known since I was like very young that whenever I be like, I'm gonna do this, and I really, really do it. There's a lot of people that talk, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. Like me, I have my mind set, and it's like once I got my mind set, no matter who you are, like I'm going full throttle. So I think my work ethic, speaks for itself.
Just working, just every
Even
fucking.
if I don't sleep, I barely sleep. I'm lucky if I sleep 3-4 hours a day. Like I think I sleep less now than when I was drug dealing. Like that shit was crazy. Crazy. So my work ethic is retarded. So I think that's what definitely helps out the most.
That's fucking great. All right, so let's get straight to the story, bro. Everybody been dying to hear it. So we left off where we left off with everybody kept asking me, what happened between him and his girl? I really want to know what happened between him and his girl. Like,
that's a fact. That's a lot of the girls was able to. They're like, yo, you really loved your girl. Like, yeah, bitch, I really loved my bitch. Yeah, not for nothing though. We went through a lot, and this was like the icing on the cake. I hope you can hear me on this shit. All right,
yeah, definitely.
But that was the icing on the cake. What we went through and what I made her go through, I feel like gave us that. You know what I'm saying? Like. Bro, I love this bitch to death. So I'm gonna get into
are you guys together to this day or?
Unfortunately, no.
No, okay. Yeah. I mean, I think you told us last time, but I wasn't sure.
No. So all right. So continue off from the last part. So where was we at?
It was the trial. It was like you were about to go to trial. You were talking to your lawyers. Yes.
Okay. So
right?
at that point, I'm pretty much.
You're trying
these are like the last final stages. I was pretty much. I had met with my lawyer. That's when we had sat down and he was like, look, I think this is the time that you need to, really consider taking the 3.5 because if not, it's a 50-50. And if God forbid you go ahead and you blow trial, then you're looking for A1, you're looking at 8 years minimum. So at that point, I remember one of the first persons that I called was my girl, and I had called her and I was just like, yo, babe, like what do I do? Is this like it's 3.5? And then she starts crying and she's like, oh my God, that's a lot of time. But I'm like, no, I got all my boys in here. They're telling me that we could go ahead and get work release and do fucking shock. And with shock, you only do a certain amount of time and you barely got to do that amount of time. So, she pretty much told me indirectly, like, I'm here for you, whatever time you take, like, I still, I got your back. So, obviously at that point, I'm thinking she's the only valuable person that was with me at that time. Reason I say that because she was the one that, held it down. She was the main one going to Rikers Island. Going to Rikers Island, bro, that process is no joke, especially for girls, because they be violating them. Like, they make them go inside. Sometimes she told me she'll get like randomly like strip search where she has to like pretty much show her twat and everything. So like, I feel like that itself is very, imagine having to go through that.
How long was she there for?
Where?
In like Rikers or
how long? No, when she did her time, she ended up doing a month.
Oh, just a month.
She ended up doing a month, yeah. I mean, that's crazy, and we ended up billing her out, and then I was in Rikers 15 months. So she was there for, I want to say, once she got out, she wasn't able to like communicate with me, and then we found out that she was able to like come visit me, and I'm like, yo, bro, come, and then she would be there like We would get 3 visits. You get 3 visits.
3 visits a month,
yeah.
or
No, a week.
A week.
a week.
Oh, and she would come
yeah.
3 times a week.
And how long?
Yeah,
How long are the
3
visits?
2 times. The visits are an hour only.
An hour?
Bro. That shit was dirt. No cap. That shit is an hour.
I mean, bro, better to have
it's like,
people like
you sit down and like you hug and like they don't let you kiss, but you still try to like, you know,
But I mean,
try
like
to get that little kiss in and shit.
try to get.
But like then you look and it's like it's been 40 minutes and I'm like, bro, I just felt like I just sat down with you. So that was a hard time. That was a hard time to deal with. But
It's good that you at least had that kind of contact, bro. Because imagine the people there that like just don't even have people coming in type shit.
That's
like
true.
willing
That's
to make that
true.
trip.
I had a handful of friends that actually came and actually did that sacrifice. Until this day, you know, I remember that, and I'll always have that in my heart. You know who you are. There was a lot of people, to be honest with you, that thought that were gonna visit me, that I thought were my right hand mans, never showed face, never wrote me a letter, nothing. And then people that I'm just like, you know, regular people were the ones that was showing up to come visit me. And I'm like, oh shit, because they don't tell you who you get as a visitor.
Yeah.
You gotta wait till you get downstairs and then they show you. So, you know, there was times that some random ass people, and I'm like, oh shit, wow, I would have never thought this nigga would have came visit me. So, you know, that was love. That was definitely love.
Fine.
People that I was never expecting, you know. But the one that was always there and I always look forward to was always, you know, when my girl would come, and it would be the best hour of my life, man. I'm not gonna lie. When you're in that predicament and, you know, and you have a loved one, like that's, you know, the girl, the kind
And
of.
there you had like a lot of time to like self-reflect, I'm sure, right? Did you like read books or like,
bro?
what
Yeah. Well, at that time I just became. When I was locked up, the main thing I just kept doing was like literally just working out, and I would read a lot of books on like I had my girl get me books on real estate, working out, and stocks. So those were like the only 3 things I would like try to you know, keep my time occupied, whatever the case is, because there's a lot of niggas in there that just don't do nothing with their life. All they do is just, I see niggas eat their life away, you know. But you know, I try to be as productive as possible. Try to be a fucking, you know, I was like, yo, I'm gonna take this shit. Cause at that time I only thought that I was probably gonna do a year and a half max. You start already thinking like, you know what, I'm only gonna probably do a year and a half. That's not, you know. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna use this shit as boot camp. I'm gonna get fucking brolic as fuck. So when I come back,
I'm a little different.
You know what I'm saying? I come back, niggas like, oh shit, my man came back home looking crazy. So that's all I did. I just kept, you know, just working on my physique. And that was like the main thing in my head. So
reflect on it back. Do you think like that's one of like the best things that kind of happened to you to like build your character essentially? Because they really stripped you down from like your ego, your pride, you know what I'm saying? And then you have to rebuild yourself. Because that, I mean, you're in solitary.
I wouldn't ever. Nah, I wouldn't say, and I'm not gonna be again, because I'm not one of these wannabe tough guys out here that be like, yeah, you know, you know the vibes. I don't do that, bro, and that's why I feel like a lot of people was able to relate to the first one, because I had a lot of people who was like, yo, not for nothing, like I really felt it. Like, you know, there's people there that go behind camera and they're capping it and they're BSing it, like me, like. People were telling me like we felt that you were sincere, like that it was, you get what I'm saying? So. Would I say that was one of the best things that ever happened? I don't think so, bro. Because I would never. Did it make me a stronger person? Yes, absolutely. But that I wouldn't think it. That fucked up my life.
You wouldn't wish it upon anybody.
And just everything that I went through, which we're gonna get into. You know, like everything that I had to go through, and then after that. So was it something that definitely, you know, made me a stronger person? Absolutely. You know, it made me wiser. It made me be less naive. It, you know, it just showed me that in life, you know, I used to be very, very gullible. I think that's the word.
Gullible,
I thought I always had a lot of friends. You know, I don't know, bro. I'm lucky if I got 3 friends.
I mean, how old were you when it happened?
I say that. That was what, like 27, 26? You got me? So... Okay. at that time, you know, my girl always used to be the one to be like, yo, you know, these niggas be using you, or they just da-da-da, or you just a benefit nigga to them because you either got the bitches, or because you got a fly car, or because this and that. And I'm like, nah, what are you talking about? Like, these are my niggas. They'll die for me, son. What you talking about? You know how many fights and just fighting with my girl? Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about? Nah, this nigga Jack is my nigga. What are you? That nigga died. Like, you feel me? And then when I was in that predicament, I really got to see like, damn, she was right. None of these niggas is real, you know? But I guess you learn that with age. You learn that when you go through, you know, critical situations like that. Literally, you get what I'm saying? That puts you in a predicament like that. But it definitely like...
All right, so you were headed to trial. You're talking to your lawyer. You were doing 8 or 3 years or something like that, right?
So pretty much when we was at that stage, he's pretty much telling me, okay, so it's 50-50. That's when I'm like... I'm talking to my girl. At that point, I would really much just talk to my mom. I would talk to my mom and I would talk to my girl, but to my mom, I wouldn't tell her like, yo, I'm about to see, you know, I might get 3.5 to 8. Cause I know number one, that would have freaked her the fuck out. She was already stressed the fuck out. Like, I'm not gonna lie. One thing that did happen, which I don't know if a lot of people, I never really had like a real close relationship with my mom. But obviously with this whole situation that went ahead and happened to me, like, you know, we kind of like bonded, and she would, my mom lives in Florida. She would like fly out to, you know, New York and come visit me and go to Rikers and go through that whole shit. So, you know, that was one of the things that another positive outlook that also ended up happening. Like, you know, a lot of closure with me and my mom brought us together and everything. But so I wouldn't really tell my mom. I would only tell my girl. So at that point, she's telling me like, yo, like, I got you, like, whatever. And I'm just going with what my friends are telling me. Like, yo, take shock, take work release, and bro, you're only doing a fraction of your time. So
what's like, shock?
Shock, it's a military boot camp.
Training kind of thing.
Yeah, so pretty much what they do is that they take what Marines do, their boot camp. Yeah. They do boot camp for 3 months. But what they do is that they implement the same exact drills, what they do, how they work out, everything. And they brought it over to like felons, nonviolent felons. And then what they do is that they give you a chance to actually go into that program.
How many like inmates like actually attended that program?
Well,
was it like a lot, or is it like a few?
It's a lot. Yeah. It's like a whole big, think about it as a whole big base. I get into that whole little, we're almost there when I ended up going to that piece of shit. Oh my God.
I'm thinking it's like a good story now. I'm like, it's a piece of shit. I'm like, this is gonna build
that
them.
Shit. Guys, I know I got a couple of goon niggas out there, got locked up, ditch shock. Oh my fucking God. Y'all niggas know what time it is. Y'all know how that shit really is. A lot of the outside people only think, oh, it's a nice military. I remember my mom and my sisters like, oh, it's going to be great. Like, you know, oh, you're going to be in the military boot camp. You're going to get in better shape. And, you know, until you really get to see like what happens. But I'm going to get into it. So I go ahead and, I'm at that point. I'm already at this point. Like I said, I was like 12, like a year in. My lawyer ends up visiting me again. And he's like, yo, have you made up your mind? And I was like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. If I could really get that shock or this work release, I'll just take the 3, you know, I'll just take the years and let these motherfuckers give me shock when I get upstate. He's like, yeah, just take the 3.5, whatever the case is. And then as soon as you get to reception, you could go ahead and apply for it. And since you don't have a record, they'll get you in. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. So I ended up taking the plea. I remember we took the plea. These motherfuckers, yo, the court system is all fucked up because I remember at that time it's like 12 months. So I'm like, yo, let me take this plea. So the sooner that I'm fucking upstate, the sooner I could apply for shock. And the sooner I apply for shock, you get me? Yeah. So I go ahead and I take the plea. Once you finally take a plea, you got to get weighted till pretty much get transported up to go upstate. So what they don't tell you though is that shit is a fucking process and a half. It's not like, oh, it's just 12 months. You know, I'm already in Rikers. I took my plea and I'm going upstate. Like, no, you gotta wait. I remember, man, I took the plea and it took them like an additional 3 more months to get me upstate. So at this point, I'm already in Rikers, 15 months? That's a very long fucking time. So I'm there 15 months. I go upstate. When I go upstate, they take you to reception. Reception is Ulster. And that's about 2.5 hours away from New York, about 2.5, 3 hours away. So we ended up going, I ended up going to Ulster. They make you, that's when they go ahead and tell you what kind of programs you qualify for, what programs you could take, what prisons they're possibly going to be sending you, because you're only there like straight reception, like you're only there a temporary amount of time, and then you do your real time to whatever prison upstate they end up sending you. So I'm at reception. I end up applying for shock. You got to go through like a whole interview and this and that. So they go ahead. I ended up getting qualified for shock. They ended up, the guidance counselor, you have like a little guidance counselor that pretty much they guide you on what to do. They ended up, she ends up calling me. She's like, look, you gotta accept it for shock. I'm fucking happy as fuck. I'm going hysterical. I'm already thinking shock is only 6 months. I'm gonna be home in 6 months. So that's not that bad. But mind you, time is ticking. I already did all this time in Rikers. I'm already in Ulster like 2 months. Once I finally got approved, they ended up getting me in like about 3-4 weeks later. Because what happens is that there's platoons in the shock military program. So it's exactly like the military shit.
Yeah, so you gotta wait.
So you have 6 platoons in total. And then once a platoon graduates, then they go ahead and they go to Ulster to reception, and they'll take 80 guys and bring them over, see who qualify and da-da-da. So I end up finally going over there, and oh my fucking God, did I get a reality check in my life. I'm not gonna lie. When I was in Ulster and I had like people there, and I was telling people like, yo, yeah, I want to apply to shock, and niggas was like, yo, bro, don't do that shit, bro. That shit is dirt. Like, don't do it. They're gonna fucking violate you. They're gonna do this and that. You're gonna let somebody lay hands on you. And I'm just like, yo, my nigga, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, my nigga. I gotta get the fuck out of jail. Yeah. And respectfully, not only that, my nigga, I got my fucking girl out. So it's like, I can't say, yeah, nah, I'm gonna just do a few extra more months and do it at a prison where you got commissary and everything. Like, nah, bro, my mentality was like, I need to get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, jail is dirt. So
did you ever get like checked in jail or like have fights or anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, all the time. Especially me, you know, get what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people, they see a pretty boy nigga. So there was always situation, you know, sometimes at the phone. But luckily, I'm not gonna lie, you know, when I was a young kid, I used to be a little gangbangers. I used to be a little badass. I used to be crip, whatever the case is. So, you know, I used to fight a lot. So I always had knuckle hand. You know, I always used to fight, and I used to fight a lot. When I was in high school, I got kicked out of mad high schools. You know, I was always a troublemaker, always getting in trouble. That's because I fought a lot. So, you know, when I was in jail, I was able to, you get what I'm saying?
Well, were you like scared that like they might like punish, don't they give you like shots or like punish you for like getting into fights or something?
Oh, like absolutely. And that happened to me the last 2 months that I was in Rikers. I ended up getting into a big fight, and they ended up putting me 30 days in solitary. That shit, I will never forget that fucking, like, that should be unconstitutional, bro, to have the shoebox. Like, what you going through, it's like, they put you in a room, which is about this square right here. Mm-hmm. Everything is pitch dark. They give you what is considered a mattress, which I'll tell you what the mattress looks like. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna give you. I got you. Give me a second. You know I got you. All right. So this is the mattress they put on top of metal, and they say, "Here, sleep." All right. So you're inside for 23 hours. You get locked in, and then they give you the option on going to the yard. And when you go to the yard, they put you in a cage with a whole bunch of niggas. So it's like all the fucking baddest niggas in Rikers. So you're in a cage pretty much, and they wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's a fucked up part about it. So the 1 hour that you do get out of your cell, they wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning like, yo, you want to go to the yard? Obviously, I would do it because I'm not, I would actually look forward to that. And then what they do is that they give you one phone call that you're able to make. And it's only for like 7-10 minutes.
A day?
A day, yeah.
Okay.
In the shoebox. And that shit was different, bro. Because not only that, they feed you like one meal a day. And then that meal, they give you like the dirt of the dirt. Like they don't give a fuck. Like they'll throw you some bread, nigga, some fucking bread in through the door with some water and like a rotten apple. And you're just like, and they want you to bug out and they want you to do, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that solitary shit, that shit was different. I did that. That shit was tough.
What was the fight about? What you gonna fight over?
Oh, over the phone.
Oh, just over the phone?
Over the phone. That was one thing though. Like, when I would get transferred. Like when you're in Rikers, you don't just stay in one building. Like sometimes, don't get me wrong, I was able, due to the fact that I ended up getting a job when I was in Rikers, I actually ended up doing like a commissary job because I heard that was like the best job and you're able to get all the best food. So I had one of my boys able to plug me in. I started working commissary.
What's commissary?
It's like you get like snacks.
That's where like they give you... Like jail food. Yeah. Like you get to order like your Roman noodles, this, that, whatever the case is. So I was doing the whole commissary shit. And I remember when I would come back from work, I would always make sure that I would call my girl. Like that was the first thing. I remember we used to get back to the dorm like around 7:30. So I would go back and you get what I'm saying? Like make sure that I would call her. So I was able to stay in this one building. I was in the 3 building at the time. And I stayed in the 3 building for a good 6-7 months. I was able to stay there for a long time. Then they ended up moving me over to the Beacon. And then now when you're in a new crib, you got new niggas, you got new gang niggas that don't know you, or some niggas that, you get what I'm saying? So it's like you got to start from scratch. At the other crib where I'm at, like everybody already knows me. They know what's up. Like you make certain bonds with certain niggas. You get what I'm saying? Niggas ain't doing, So when you go to a new crib, what happens? You end up fucking having to meet new people, got to meet new relationship. And one time, bro, I remember it was like 7, some niggas on the Spanish phone. I'm like, yo, homie, like it's my time. And the nigga tried to be, nah, nigga, you ain't getting the phone. And you already know where that led to. Boom, nigga started getting it in. Pam, pam, pam. And I had already gotten like a few tickets. Once you get a few tickets, oh yeah, they do that in jail too. You get citated. These fucking bozos. So they citate you and they give you tickets. So the tickets be like anywhere from like $30 to like $100. Like if you get into a fight, if you do something you weren't supposed to do or anything like that. So once you get a certain amount of tickets or point, your qualification goes up. So now you're no longer like me. When I first started, I was in the dorms. And the dorms is 50 people, like I said, and you all sleep together. Once you get into a fight, your classification goes up and then they put you in a cell. Not for nothing, I kind of loved it because now you got your own space. I don't got to be around fucking 1, 2, 3, 4 different niggas that is fucking. Some of these niggas don't shower, don't clean their hands. Like, you get what I'm saying? And not for nothing, like I'm a germ-free type motherfucker. So there would be like shit that I was seeing. I'm just like, oh my God, this ain't life, bro. So when my classification went up, they brought me over to the cell. So that was like the best, dopest shit. They bring you over to the cell. So I ended up, whatever, like we were talking about, ended up getting to that whole fight, end up going to the box. And what was it?
The shock. You were in the
Okay, so we end up
shock.
going into the shock, whatever the case is. They end up sending me over. You take the bus from Ulster all the way to Lakeview. Lakeview is fucking far. If you guys know where that shit is at, that shit is like right next to Buffalo.
I have no idea.
Lakeview, Buffalo. No.
Yeah,
well, it's like upstate New York.
Yeah. So it's by Buffalo. So the trip over there from the city is like about 9 hours away. So that shit is
it's like near Canada, kind of, right?
Yeah, but you're borderline. You pretty much see Canada from where you're at. Yeah. So I end up going. When you end up taking shot, you automatically go inside with the mentality thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do 6 months or program 6 months as soon as I get in, and I'm out. What these motherfuckers don't tell you is that, and this is why the system is so slick, because they leave out certain things. Like, not only did I have to wait for the platoon to graduate, what they don't tell you is that when you go back when you go to reception into shock, you also gotta wait until an additional platoon graduates, and you gotta do a 30-day like training to prepare you for shock. So start doing the tally. Now it's 7. Now you gotta wait for the other platoon. Man, to make a long story short, I ended up waiting to get into a platoon 2 motherfucking months. 2 months. God. Mind you, you gotta go through when you go through the training of shock, like what they do. All right, so let me break down, because I know a lot of people like, what the fuck is shock? All right, so shock is exactly what the fuck it's called. They shock the fuck out of you mentally, physically, and everything you could possibly think about. So it's pretty much a program that is designed to get your mind from the outside world and pretty much experience what the military go through and try to get you as disciplined as possible to when you come to the outside world. You're like a rehabilitated man, whatever the case is, all that bullshit. And so this is what they do. In shock, this is the fucked up part. You're in a platoon with about 50 people, the same exact way. The only thing different about this shock shit, which is the most fucked up part, and this is the part that really broke me down to the max, was that when you're in shock, you only allowed to visit every 2 weeks. You're allowed to get a visit. So, when I'm in Rikers, you get a visit, 3 times a week? You chilling, like, at least you get to see your people. So every 2 weeks. And then they do the worst part, which this part to me is like, why? When you're in shock, they allow you to get on the phone once every 14 days. Every 2 weeks, you're allowed to get on the phone for 10 minutes. So that right there, bro, was like, you have to like really, really program your mind. Because not only am I now mad deep from my girl, but bro, I'm only going to be able to call this bitch once every 2 weeks. I didn't even want to tell her that, because I know she would have been like, I'm not jacking that. Like, are you on drugs? So you go through that, whatever the case is. You're limited to one visit a week, one visit every 2 weeks, one call every 2. And then the worst part about it is like, you would think, oh, how long you get that call? Ask me how long is the phone call?
10 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, you said 10 minutes. You just
Did
said,
I? Oh, okay. I'm high. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, bro, 10 minutes. But what they don't tell you, though, is that if, God forbid, you don't hang up that phone like within 10 minutes, like you need to give yourself like a 1 minute grace period. Because if not, what ends up happening in shock, they're gonna fuck your ass up. They're gonna either pop you in your mouth, punch you in your mouth, kick you, spit on you. Yes, they do that in shock, believe it or not. Yeah, we're gonna get into the good stuff in a second. So I go ahead.
This sounds like Navy SEAL like training.
No, I think this is worse because,
bro, I consider this shit worse. I'm gonna tell you the shit they used to do.
Sounds like Hell Week, like Hell Camp.
Because you're saying getting punched in the face.
No.
I never got punched in the face, and I want to basic training.
They drown you, bro. They break down every. Bro, you are craving food. you will not get food, bro. You are literally gonna die of hypothermia. Like they'll leave you in the water, like freezing, about to die, and then they'll pull you out right before you're about to pass out type shit.
I'm gonna tell you, believe it or not, that's the kind of shit. And when I tell you the stories, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? All right, so I'm pretty much waiting an additional 2 more months to get into the whole platoon. When you're in shock, one of the most fucking gayest shit in the fucking world is that you have to be on your feet 24/7 from the second that the drill instructor wakes up in the morning, which is you get woken up in the morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning with the whistle. You have to be up on your feet, and you are not allowed to sit on your bed. You're not allowed to sit down. You're not allowed to go to sleep. Like, you have to be up. If God forbid you're not up, like, you know, when you're in jail, you fucking, bro, what do you do when you're in jail? You fucking sleep all day, work out, and eat. That's all you fucking do when you're in jail. So now you had to be like on your feet, right, having to do something productive. Well, I mean productive, they'll like give you assignments to do, because at the same time you'll go to school. They will make sure that you have to take classes. And then when you're at the platoon, like the shit that they will show you is like, you gotta shine, you gotta shine your boots. You have to crease up all your uniforms. Like, they all need to have creases, like how it is in the military. Yeah, like
they make you like buff a helmet and like paint your helmet.
Yes, all that bullshit, you know. Clean,
basically Hell Week, bro.
Clean the platoon, you know, clean the platoon, make sure that everything is clean. They'll give us a toothbrush, and we would have to clean like the entrance of the door with a toothbrush and
would they like knock your shit over and just be like, clean that shit up?
Absolutely. Yeah, they would do all kind of shit. So
how was the food there compared to like regular, like in Rikers?
Still the same shit, dirt. And the worst part about it is that every morning they would give us potatoes. So, bro, it got to a point like a month, 2 in, that you, bro, like even now, any of you motherfuckers want to see me tight, serve me potatoes. I'm fucking tired of that.
Give them French fries.
My nigga, serve me potatoes. I'm smacking the shit out of you. Like, that's all they would feed us in the morning. So I'm going to get to the good part. So in regards to the food, yes. Was it a little better? Yes. In comparison to the food in Rikers, absolutely. But guess what's the most fucked up part about shock is that they don't give you commissary. The only commissary that they gave you at commissary was cosmetics. By cosmetic is that they would only allow you to buy like soap, lotion, shampoo, what else? Shampoo, toothbrush. What else were we allowed to buy? Postcards, papers, pens. And and cigarettes. So, you know, when you're at commissary and like up north or Rikers, like, yo, you could buy everything. Like, you could buy noodles, you could buy rice, you could buy meats, you could buy fucking tuna, you could buy snacks, you could buy like all of that. So they deprive you of all of that. No commissary. You got 3 meals. So they would go ahead. We would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this would be a day in shock, so you guys would understand, and I get a little bit more into that because I know you guys are still probably like, what the fuck is shock? So we would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They would press the horn. They'll wake you up with a brr, like, wake the fuck up, you fucking maggots, you fucking piece of shit. Like, just straight violate niggas. So you would go ahead, you would get up, and you would go ahead and do the count. So the count, you know, when you're in jail, they always do count like every certain amount of time to make sure that all the prisoners and everybody's there. So we would go ahead and have to get up from the bed and be like, sir, yes, sir. Sir, da, da, da. And then they'll be like, sound off. And it'll be like, sir, 1, sir. Sir, 2, sir. Sir, 3, sir. Sir, 4, sir. And just keeps going on till 50. So you can imagine that. So we do that every morning. Then we would get dressed, and they'll make us work out for about an hour and a half. We would do military, straight working out, strength training. That was actually my favorite part of the day. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because I used to love to work out. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna get more brolic doing all this shit. So you work out for about an hour and a half. They'll do everything that the military does, like in regards to like their workouts and everything. You would do the same exact workouts. Like, say cadence and be like, sir, yes, sir. Now time to do stride, straight, or hops. And then, you should. And then, sir, yes, sir. Sir, this inmate has finished. You get the point. So we would do that for about an hour and a half. And then you would also, after every time of working out, you would have to run anywhere from 1 mile to 2 miles. You run with your platoon. And if God forbid you do not complete that run or you get off that line, bro, they're fucking your ass up. Like, that's one thing that they take pride in. Like, you do not, well, you can ask any military person that went to boot camp. Yeah. The one thing you don't do is you fucking get out of line and be like, no, I'm not gonna run no more, because they fucking violate your ass. So we would go ahead, we would work out. Then after that, we'll run. Then after that, they'll take us a breakfast. We'll do breakfast like around 7-ish in the morning. We do breakfast, and we'll eat breakfast. That was actually my favorite part of the meal, because not for nothing, you would get cereal and milk, and like sometimes they'll give us protein, and the protein would be like eggs. So for the most part, their breakfast was decent. Like, it's something that you could actually eat it, besides the part of the potato. But at first, the potatoes was good. They was I fucked with the potatoes at first. But once you eat that every morning, you're just like, nah, I can't see them shits no more. So you'll go back to the platoon at 7. Then at about 7:30, you would have to go outside and go in front of the flag and do flag formation and just be there and, just do the whole fucking pretty much Pledge of Allegiance. And then the platoons have like a thing that they say and all that crap. We go back to the platoon. Then at this time, you would go ahead, you'll get ready, and you would go to school. You would either go to school if you don't have your college credits. You go to school, and if you do have your college credit, another thing that the program did, which I guess that was pretty cool, they would send you and you go work with the community. So that was like the only decent part about Shock that I would say, all right? Whoever's in the fucking court system or anything, like that program has to offer. That is like 2 things. They would give you school, and you would have to get your high school diploma in there or your GED. So that was pretty cool. They'll help you with that. Nice. Or if you already had your college scores, then you would go ahead and you would work outside with the community and do like community service, like go to the forest and like clean them. And at that time, it's like winter time. So you help out with shoveling and breaking the leaves, like, just regular community service shit, but you get to be outside of the place. So that was pretty cool for the most part, So once you come back, you go ahead, you go to work from 9:30 till about 4 in the afternoon. And then you come back, you do programs. When I mean by programs, you would have to like attend a class where you're in a program and you pretty much are socializing with everybody. One of the most fucked up parts about this program, which is fucking mind-boggling, is that in order for you to stay in that program, you need to obey by following evaluations. So evaluations is that when you're in shock, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to do 6 months of shock and then that's it. I'm going to go home. But if you don't pass your evals, you get evaluated on your hygiene, on your programs, on your behavior, on your community relationship with all the other inmates. If you they give you tests. So if you don't pass these things, and let's say like I fuck up and I keep failing my evaluations, they kick you outside. They kick you out the program. So you could do the program 2-3 months and then God forbid get kicked out. You have 2 options. You either restart the program or they kick you out the program. You get sent back to prison.
Did they ever try to purposely fail you? Like,
oh, absolutely. They do that to see how you would react to that or try to, So, I go ahead and, well, not I go ahead. Once you do the programs, once you go ahead and you do the programs, you come back at like about 7:00 at night. Then you have to do detail cleaning, which you have to clean the whole platoon with like a toothbrush, do like mad tedious stupid shit. You gotta go behind the lockers because they inspect this shit, make sure there's never dust. Like it's some like crazy military shit. So that was like the basic shit about the program. So that's a typical nice day in shock, whatever the case is. So they go ahead. I wait 2 months. A platoon finally opens up, and they end up sending me over to the platoon that I got sent to was called Hardcore. So you could already imagine, because of the fucking name, the kind of platoon I'm going to.
It's like difficult.
Hardcore. They're like,
Hardcore.
yo, my nigga. Yo, they're like, yo, bro, you know you're gonna have the most toughest drill instructor in the whole shock shit. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you gonna see. That nigga don't play. Like, that nigga be volleying, hitting niggas. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Technically, I haven't really done the program. Like, all we done is just like the basic shit. They like sugarcoat you, make it.
Wait, so
they make
just
it
going
look,
through the basic shit right now.
oh yes, this is just the first. Oh, and then
I was like 1.5.
when I almost left out one of the things about the program. Yeah, one of the things I left out about the program is that when you're in shock, also as well, you have 3 meals a day, right? Now, when you're eating, they only allow you to eat. They give you 7 minutes. And in those 7 minutes, you have to finish everything that's in your plate. Because if not, either 2 things are going to happen. Well, one of them automatically happens. The other one is optional depending on the drill instructor. So you're either getting smacked. They're going to smack the shit out of you. And then what they do is that, let's say, for example, they gave soup that day. And you're down to like fucking 1 minute, and I'm here like,
I'm fucking just
and then I don't finish it. Then they go ahead, and they'll do this.
Just put it on you,
and put it. I'm sorry, yo, and they put it on you, and what you do is that you have to wear it for the rest of the day. Whatever food they put on you. So you left rice, you left meatball, you left whatever the fuck is on that plate, whatever sauce, cereal, they grab it, and you have to put it in your pocket, and they make you walk around the whole day with the food on you, bro.
Damn.
And you're not allowed to take a shower or anything like that. So that's one of the cruel parts from that program.
Bro, so to be completely honest, that sounds great, bro. I don't like
what?
Like, that sounds great, bro. I would honestly like
the program.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like
oh no, it's good. It's gonna be great till we get to the juicy part. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Let's go, bro.
So once I end up getting accepted to Hardcore, we end up going. Everybody's like, you know, the drill instructors that we have at the reception, the cool ones, are like, yo, guys, this is when the program really starts. Now you really got to get on your A game. You got to pass evaluations. Don't fuck up. Don't give no feedback, meaning don't speak back to no drill instructor. Like, don't get on no bad side of nobody. Make sure they don't send a hit out on you, because if you end up having a bad, you know, let's say he's a drill instructor. Yeah. I'm like, yo, fuck you. And you're like, they're your co-workers.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, when you see this nigga swag, violate that nigga. Mm-hmm. So that would, you know, they'll kind of give you the hint.
Yeah.
So, you know, of course, swag always has the best motherfucking luck in the world. You know that. So I end up going to the hardest fucking platoon in the world, and I'll never fucking forget this day. I go ahead. The first day we're there, everybody, you know, is fucking high and tight. She's on some like, you don't even want to look at the drill instructor because this nigga look crazy. Like, this nigga, the drill instructor is like an ex-fucking Navy SEAL. That's one of them niggas. Bro, so he's one of them niggas that they put us all in the platoon. We're there. And he's like, I just want to let you guys know that you guys are going to fucking go through hell. if you guys think this is a fucking game, you got me fucking mistaken. Cause this is gonna be the hardest. He said this is the crazy part about it. He was like, look, right now there's 60 of you motherfuckers. You know how many of you motherfuckers are gonna probably graduate? If that, 20. Damn. So everybody's like, damn, like, yo, there's really that many people's gonna fucking
40 people.
Yeah. Like, that shit is bugged the fuck out. So the first week that you start a platoon, you're in 0 weeks. What 0 weeks is, another disclosure they don't give you is that you have to do 0 weeks, which is like about almost 2 weeks. But guess what? That doesn't get counted towards the 6 months inside. So mind you, I already did 2 months waiting for a platoon. Now I got to do 0 weeks. My 6 months still haven't started. So 0 weeks. This is the kind of shit they made us do at 0 weeks. Hear this shit. They went ahead. I remember the first drill that we had to do. It was like maybe like -5 degrees. We went ahead. We were never allowed to go to sleep in full clothing. Like we were only allowed to go to sleep with like shorts and a t-shirt. You're not allowed to go to sleep with socks, with long sleeves. Don't ask me why. It's just how the program is. I think it's maybe designed to just, you're always supposed to be mad in that shit, and they really know how to do it. So they made us go in -10 degrees, and they made us fucking do the frog walk on top of frozen mud for 2 hours straight, back and forward while you're, I don't know if you guys know what that is. Have you guys ever
the frog
that?
walk? No.
Yeah.
Is it like you're like squatting,
you're like
and
on
you're
your
walking?
back.
Oh, I never did that. No.
Okay.
On your back.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, no, talking about.
Damn.
All right. So if at any time you end up saying I can't do 0 weeks, you automatically get kicked out. So what they do at this point is that they weed out all the weaklings, all the niggas. You got what I'm saying?
The people. Some of them, like from what I heard from like Navy SEAL stories, right, is that eventually like some of them, they'll seem good and they'll just crack. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they'll cry. Drop, like, you know how many people would cry? I remember that same thing. Niggas was crying. Like I felt bad for like the little fat boy niggas that got in there, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta do this shit, bro." Like, yo, we've been doing this for like 2 hours, and these niggas are like, "Oh, it's not over," and you're like freezing, and you're just like, "We got sir, yes sir." How you motherfuckers feel? We feel good, sir. They're like, who's gonna quit? So literally shit like that. So that same day they went ahead and where another thing that you would do in shock too is that they would give you 3 minutes to shower. So it would be 3 people that go in at the same time. Somebody looks at the clock. The drill instructor looks at it. They have a stopwatch, and they give you 3 minutes to go inside, shower, do whatever the fuck you do, like, wash your hair, da-da-da. But within those 3 minutes, you need to go inside, wash yourself, come outside, dry. You have to be dry, and then go to your bed and be like, sir, yes, sir, this inmate has come in the shower, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, and you're on time. You get, and if God forbid you run out of that shit after 3 minutes, I seen niggas. I remember one drill instructor. This nigga was literally in his boxers. It was freezing outside, and this guy took like, I ain't gonna lie, he did kind of violate. The nigga took like 4 minutes. You know what they made him do? All wet and everything. They made him stand outside for 1 hour.
60 seconds, bro. For 60 seconds.
60. Yo, bro, you're not taking in consideration that it's like, nigga, it's like -5 degrees out there. Fucked. And he was like, you either die here or whatever the and I'm just like, yo, they really violating the shit out of. So they do all those things to show you, like, bro, you're either gonna do what the program tells you to do, or we're gonna fucking violate the shit out of you. So what was another crazy ass thing that they made us do? Oh, another thing that they made us fucking also do is that they made us run around for 8 hours with like 60-pound logs with 10 of them. So you're running in a platoon and you're carrying 60 pounds, and then you gotta you cannot allow that shit to hit the floor, because if it hits the floor, oh my God, just say RIP, you're done. So you got to work amongst a team. Bro, imagine doing that shit for hours, for straight hours. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, bro, that shit brain fucks you. So mentally, they made us do a whole bunch of crazy, whatever. Just look up like intensive boot camp, whatever they did. They would pretty much do it to us. But one of the things that I really didn't like is that a lot of these drill instructors, they were hands-on. Like, they would go up to you and then, like, they didn't like you, they'll smack the shit out of you. I done seen guys that, let's say, the guy's like, sir, no, sir. And then he gave attitude, bro. Bang, pop him and just hit the shit out of the nigga. And you're just like, bro, that wasn't even necessary. Like, you did you get do that? Why? Because these niggas is some white motherfucker, white cracker, redneck niggas up there. And of course, I'm in a fucking platoon when I'm like the only fucking Spanish nigga. Everybody's like white. There was, I think, another like 2 more black guys, but they didn't end up even doing the program, whatever the case is. And bro, right after you complete 0 weeks, and you do all this crazy intensive shit, all this crackhead stuff. Oh, also for 0 week, for like 5 days straight, you see how they would give us 7 minutes to eat? You know what they would do to us? We would go ahead. After, remember, you would wake up, work out, run. You're fucking starving. You're looking forward to the best fucking meal of the day, which is the fucking breakfast. Bro, we would go, we'll sit down, and they'll be like 7 minutes, ready, set, go. And they'll be like 1, 2, 3, 7 minutes, right? And then 2 seconds later, they'll be like 1 minute. Mind you just got the food. Yes. So you're just like,
that's fun.
Bro, 10 seconds in, they're telling you, you got 1 minute. And then what do? 30 seconds. Bro, so you're lucky if that day I was able to take a bite from the apple and maybe chucked in as much as food. So pretty much they gave us like about 45 seconds to eat during every meal. And they'll do that on purpose because they want you to be like, what the fuck? You're not fucking feeding me? You're giving me 30 seconds to fucking eat? Like, that's the kind of shit. And then they'll go with all your food. Then that was the only time that you were allowed to go and throw it in the garbage. And they did that to us for 1 whole week straight during 0 weeks. So
that makes Rikers sound like a vacation.
That's a fine.
Seriously. No. I believe what you went through, right? Like, literally, it had to have established your work ethic, bro. Like, if you made it through that whole thing.
Oh, no, that's like a fact. No, but even prior to that, I always had, it wasn't something that, I would say, oh, because of that, now that gave you even more. Now I've always had the same. That's from since young.
Did you make it through the whole thing?
So let me tell you. So guys, we make it through 0 weeks. Out of the 60 people that started the platoon, I think only 40 made it through. So they got rid of 20 people that either couldn't make it through the program because you weren't physically fit for it. 2 complained and said you didn't want to do it. 3 got in real big trouble. You try to be a tough guy you got kicked out right away. And then people that just couldn't make it through 0 weeks, couldn't do the physical training or fucked up. So
anybody get sick?
Yeah, absolutely. Mad people. Yeah. So we start the platoon. Once you're done with 0 weeks, they go ahead. They tell you, congratulations. You're now officially starting shock. And now your fucking time starts now. So you're like, fuck, finally, bro. Mind you, I just did already 2.5 months of shock, my nigga. And I'm now going to start the 6 months. Like, this shit is retarded. So the first day, they went ahead. They pretty much gave us our official locker with your bunkie. When you're in shock, it's actually real bed. So you got the top and bottom, but it's a dorm with top and bottom, whatever the case is. So I'm there, and the first day that the time officially starts, one of the drill instructors says, guys, today, make sure that your lockers is high and tight, that everything is straight, because we're gonna do an inspection and we're going to be looking for certain things. So, that's just meant like make sure that everything is stupid clean, spotless. Your boots is shiny as fuck. Our boots always have to be shiny. Like we would always have to buff them shits and make them shits look crazy. Your creases are on point. You're clean. They would make you shave your face. I hated that shit. We would have to shave every single morning. We would have to shave. So we would have to shave every single, make sure that your razors are clean. And so, so whatever. So that night, we come back from programs, and bro, I'm telling you, bro, my luck sometimes, I don't know, but whatever. I go ahead, and the drill instructor's like, everybody position of attention in front of your locker, which means stand up high and tight in this position, and just stand right there until they tell you to do whatever, And they make us stand there for like 30 minutes and straight silence. They don't say nothing. You're not allowed to talk or, because if God forbid you do, you get invalidated. So the drill instructor's there and another sergeant walks in. And they're like, well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special announcement to make. Guess what, guys? This is the drill instructor speaking to the platoon while we're all standing there. And he's being really sarcastic, and the drill instructor's like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a celebrity in the building, believe it or not. And everyone's looking confused, like, what do you mean we got a celebrity in the building? Da da da. And they go ahead and they go, Mr. Tavares, report. And I'm like, sir, yes, sir. You gotta be mad loud. Say, sir, yes, sir. So I go run. Sir, Emmett Tavares here. How can I help you, sir? So they go ahead, and the sergeant is looking at me with like a crazy face. And now the drill instructor's talking, and they're like, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the celebrity that I'm speaking to you about. And guess what? He's from New York City. And not only that, he goes ahead, he goes into his folder, and he ends up taking out pictures that my girlfriend had sent me. Because they're allowed to, you're allowed to receive pictures, whatever the case is. And one of the pictures that my girlfriend has sent was me DJing in one of them. So,
damn.
So they're like, we have a celebrity in the building. And guess what, guys? He's from New York City. And guess what, guys? This motherfucker probably thinks that he's better than each and every one of you guys. But don't worry. We're going to fix it. And they're like, so Mr. Tavares, do you think you're better than everybody in here? Sir, no, sir. Oh, so you're a DJ, huh? Sir, yes, sir. Oh, so that's where you used to sell all your fucking filthy drugs and get all these people out here intoxicated and this, and that. And I'm like, sir, no, sir. These guys went ahead and they were like, we're going to go ahead and show you guys what this program does. And guess what these motherfuckers went ahead and did? They said, Mr. Tavares, from this day on, you better watch out. Because from this day on, you're an official shitbird. Now, in the military, what a shitbird is called is when pretty much all the drill instructors in there, they all talk bad about you and they try to get you, they try to kick you out the program.
Yeah.
Bro, I just finished 0 weeks. I mind my business. I don't do nothing. Yes, I fucked up. I had a picture in my fucking locker. Okay, give that. Do I think I'm better than everybody? Absolutely not. When they saw that, I don't know what it was, but they felt like legit, they felt like these are rednecks motherfuckers. So they looking at me like, oh, you just trying to do the easy part and get, the 6 months and get the fuck out. My brothers, they officially did that, and they went ahead and they sent out the fucking, the hit out on me. They told every drill instructor to fuck with me. I remember that same second that the drill instructor was like, don't worry, Mr. Tavares, we're going to show you what shock is all about. They go ahead, get dressed, put on your coat, and go on the rock pile. What the rock pile is, they have this whole thing over here is like full of rocks. And then they have these boulders, which are like ranging anywhere from 20 to about 80 pounds. And what you got to do is that you got to, all right, it's like about, I want to say from here to the end of the block. I want to say, there you go, to your corner. So you'll have a pile of rock, and then you'll have another set over there. So what you would have to do when you go to the rock pile, this is when you would fuck up or you'll get in trouble. They'll make you carry the rocks, all right? And then you carry it, you walk like that whole, how long would you say the corner of your block is? How many meters or how many? A quarter of a mile?
Field, like a football field.
Yeah, no, it's definitely shorter than that. But you would walk with the rock to the end, and then you would have to run back. Go grab the heavy ass rock, run back, bring it, and then you're just doing that nonstop.
For how long they had you doing that?
The first day they put me there for 3.5 hours. So, bro, I'm already like, Joel, it's all right. They're trying to break you down.
It's the villain origin
Don't let
story.
these motherfuckers get to you. Like, you got this. Like, like you Gucci, bro. Like, this is what this program is intended to do. Mm-hmm. Bro, from that day on, when I tell you that I got violated, bro, I got violated. There would be times that I'm going to work and the drill instructor would literally just come up to me and literally smack me dead in my face like that. Bang! And be like, you want to do something about it, Mr. Tavares? You think you a tough guy? At that time, I was kind of looking big. Oh, you think you a big boy? Like, what's up? Do something. And they would do shit like that to try to pretty much get a reaction from you. Bro, do whatever the fuck you want. At this time, I'm just thinking, I just want to get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm willing to go through whatever. Bro, for the whole program, I had to eat sitting outside and standing up for about, I want to say like 4 or 5 months. I would never be allowed to eat. So when everybody would like go and like finally be like, oh, we got to sit down. And that's the crazy part. That's the only time you're allowed to sit down is when you're going to bed and when you're going to eat or you're at program. It's the only time you're allowed to sit down, like literally like that. Every other time you got to be on your foot. So I would look forward to these times. Bro, every time what they would do to me, stand. Tavares, stand. Tavares, to the back. Like, they would dead ass just, bro, try to break me down in every kind of physical possible way possible. Another thing about shock, which is so fucking mind-boggling, when I told you that they evaluate you, like, even though, let's say, my locker was up to par, my bed was spotless, my everything that I did was on point, I aced the test, they would go ahead on the evaluation and they'll fail me. And they'll fail me. And they'll fail me. And I'm just like, yo, bro, what the fuck, bro? I'm doing everything I gotta fucking do. And they were doing that to me and like other few people, like just to see. Mind you, they'll tell you like, yo, keep failing evaluations, you're gonna get kicked out. Yeah. So mind you, at this point, I'm panicking. Why? Because I'm thinking like, yo, these niggas got the hit out on me. They don't fucking like me because I'm from fucking New York. They not jacking my shit whatsoever. They're failing me on all my evaluations. Bro, imagine I do this program for like 4 months and then they send me back to jail like that. That would fucking devastate me. Guys, I'm going to make this story short because it's just too much. It will be here like 3 fucking hours. Believe it or not, I ended up doing 5.5 months in shock. And guess what they ended up doing to me? They restarted me.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Bro.
What?
Bro, that is so crazy.
Wait, I thought they were just
That is
failing
so
you
crazy.
just to see your reaction, but they actually failed
No,
you.
they will just fucking fail you, bro. Like that's what they do in Navy SEAL. That's what they do
Bro.
in Hell Week, bro. That's literally what they do. It's crazy.
They
Fuck.
dead ass restarted
fucked
me
up.
after doing the program 5.5 months. Like, that was by far one of the most.
And they waited till you got to the end.
Oh, and let me tell you,
Yeah.
right before, that's the worst part about it, because they could have easily had an option and be like, yo, we don't like Tavares. Like, yo, just kick that nigga out now.
Oh, they made you
Bro,
go
they
through the whole
made
thing.
me do pretty much the whole program. You know what's the most fucked up shit? And this really fucked me up. Like, I will always remember this.
But you never freaked out. You never flipped. You never reacted.
Well, let me tell you, there was one day towards the end that I'm not gonna lie. It was just one of those days that, like, I just woke up. I was fed up. I remember, I think I tried getting in contact with my girl and she wasn't picking up the phone. Like, this bitch went ghost. I'm like, oh, okay, I see how it is. So I'm on some shit, like, I'm stressed the fuck out. And I'm not gonna lie, I gave feedback. There was a drill instructor the morning that said something to me and he asked me a question. I didn't answer him. So he took that as disrespect. Yo, you know what these motherfuckers did to me, bro? This bitch ass nigga went to the sergeant, told that nigga. I will never forget this. We were going through like a blizzard storm. Mind you, this is right by Buffalo where the temperature really goes underneath like negative 20 degrees. Bro, they had me go outside. Remind you, you wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, you work out, you come back, you eat, you do flag formation around 8, then you go to work. Once you come back from work, like 4 or 5 hours later, you do program. After you do program, you clean the dorm and you go to sleep. And that's your day. It was like pretty much a repetitive thing, whatever. They went ahead and they had me shovel snow. There was a few niggas. Tinta. I was locked up with you at Shock. Tell these niggas so they don't think I'm capping. They went ahead and they had me shovel snow in negative 20 degrees for about a whole week straight. From 8 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. Mind you, the platoons used to go to sleep at 10 o'clock. I used to stay outside an additional hour. And you know what I'll do? They'll make me do the rock pile, shovel snow, pick ice. Mind you, I'm outside for like 10 hours straight. Yeah. And you know what they would do, bro? The platoons wouldn't even go outside around this time because it was so cold, and they'll still leave me outside and they'll be like, Mr. Tavares, are you ready to quit yet? And I'm like, sir, no, sir. This inmate's willing to do everything he has to do in order to get back to his family, sir. And I'm just like, bro, they did this day after day after day for 7 days straight, my nigga. Not for nothing, I was gonna sue the shit out of them, which I don't know why I did it, because that's inhumane. Like, you know what it is to be outside negative 20 degrees. Mind you, of course, I got a coat.
Yeah, definitely.
Bro, a coat could only do so much when it's negative degree weather. Like that shit is different. I'm freezing. It got to points that I remember I wouldn't even be able to feel my hand or feel the shovel. I'm doing this back to back for like 10 hours straight. Bro, it was like by far the most torturous shit. Like, I get it. The program is supposed to break you down and lift you back up. But the shit that I really saw from that program is all they did was literally break you down, and they would never lift you up. Like, they would straight up violate you, and then they'll go up to your face and be like, your mother should have swallowed you, you fucking maggot. And then smack you. I saw one nigga getting spit at his face. I don't know why he didn't do nothing. I think that probably would have been, that you can't. I think I definitely would have caught a reaction to that. But I see niggas getting spit on, getting everything. And Bro, they did this to me about 2 weeks prior to graduating. And then I got the beautiful note. I remember one day they're like, Tavares, get all dressed for program. When you got dressed for program, we would have to get dressed in a white shirt and they'll give us like a little tie that we'll go to program with. You're gonna go see the like the guy that runs the whole platoon shit and everything. So they told me that day, get all dressed. You have to go downstairs and meet with the guidance counselor and this and that. And from what I remember, whenever they would call you, bro, whenever they would call certain people, they would never come back. So, bro, once they told me that, I'm already thinking in my head like, yo, are they really about to violate my shit? My brother, to make a long story short, I ended up going to the director downstairs, and this was his exact words. They're like, Mr. Tavares, we do not see any improvement from you, and your drill instructor feels that that you shouldn't be released out to the public with graduating shock. And then I'm like, at that point, I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, sir, is this inmate allowed to speak, sir? Sir, are you aware that the drill instructor that you're telling me that doesn't feel that I should go home has done everything to fucking get me the fuck out this program, and he's telling you that I should get kicked out? Honestly, I know there's favoritism here and shit like that, but how do you guys feel that this is the guy that's telling you that I should go home? Like, the guy doesn't like me, clearly. You see me out in the rock pile, maybe like 100 million, like the whole program. He violates me. He send a missile out. Isn't that like a certain pattern that shows that the guy clearly, he goes, well, unfortunately, I'm not going against my staff. So guess what, Mr. Tavares? You're going back to jail.
What?
That's crazy, bro.
Bro. Graduated.
Bro, I just did the fucking program, and these motherfuckers literally about 2 weeks prior end up kicking me out. You know when they end up doing to me? They went ahead. I got kicked out the program. That day, I'm not gonna lie, I cried like a fucking bitch. My nigga, now I'm thinking I gotta do way more time. I just did the fucking program for no time. My girl is expecting me in 3 weeks. Mind you, bro, like, she's expecting me. They give us a graduation day. Like, you graduate May 1st. And that's your graduation day. She already had the graduation day. My family had the graduation day. Bro, I remember crying like a fucking bitch. And I called my girl that day and I said, babe, I'm sorry. I lied. I'm not going to lie. I did lie to her at the point. I lied and I said, babe, look, I know that I have the graduation day of I think at that time it was like I was supposed to get out of jail January 10th. I'm not going to be coming home January 10th. Parole is not allowing me to get released for whatever reason. And she's like, wait, what the fuck you mean parole is not allowing you to get released? What the fuck? And I'm like, no, but don't worry, baby. I'm going to figure this out. I don't know what the fuck to do at this point. What they end up doing me, they take me to Shock and they send me to Washington prison. Washington is another jail, which is another, like, you could say sort of reception. It's regular, but also like sort of / receptionist. And I remember the guidance counselor comes up to me and they're like, yo, if you want, you could do Shock again. And not, yeah, they're like, yo, you could do Shock again and we'll send you to another facility. And this is what we'll do for you. Instead of you having to do the whole 6 months, we'll just put you at a restart and you'll only have to do a fraction of the program.
That's so funny. It's the rollback. This is the rollback.
Bro, I'm just like,
it's just crazy, bro. Because you went through hell for like,
bro, for like 6 months.
Yeah,
I went through hell. Bro. Mind you, I did the 6 months plus the
0 weeks.
the 0 weeks, and then I did the whole 2 months of reception, which you still going through shit, but you're not going through that much shit because they kind of, niggas would like sneak and try to like sit on the bed, and we were like, and then get up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was different. It wasn't like that real hands-on shit. Bro, to have to go through that program, to have to literally deal with not being able to see your family, because not for nothing, bro, ain't nobody coming out 9.5 hours away, bro. Like, I got some visits, bro, but ain't nobody doing that trip for you. Like, respectfully, that shit is in fucking, shit land. To deal with only having one call every 2 weeks, to have to deal with the punishment, the this and that, and for them to go ahead and offer it for me. And guess what this crazy dumb motherfucker nigga did? I took the shock again, bro. And
No way. No fucking way. Wait, what the fuck?
Bro. But did you graduate?
Bro.
Yeah,
I dead ass was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Why? Bro, I wanted to get the fuck, even if at this point, I'm already in jail, like 2 and something years, like 2.5. I'm just like, bro, I just want to get the fuck out. So even if I'm saving 3-4 months, I'm like, fuck it. Bro, I ended up doing shock. They ended up putting me as a restart. Mm-hmm. And bro, they did the same shit again to me. They still had me classified as a shit bird with a, mm-hmm. But the only difference was that I ended up doing like 4 months, and yes, I ended up graduating, bro.
Nice. Oh my God, bro.
I ended up fucking. I feel like at that point, them niggas is like, yo, this is like the toughest motherfucker we've ever had. Yo, there was one nigga. Look. Bro. Oh, so mind you, I did 6 + 2 plus the other 4.5. I did like a year or something of shock. Imagine going through that. There was a nigga that did 2 years. I don't know how he did. He did 2 years in shock. I give it, amen to you, bro. That nigga did, they restarted that nigga like 3 times. That was different.
That's crazy, bro. After everything you just said.
Bro, crazy, right? Insane. So, bro, I go ahead and I finally end up graduating. A week prior to, not even, like a month prior to you graduating, parole, they let you know who's your parole officer, who's the one that's going to be dealing with you. Mm-hmm. Then they need to get an address from you. Yep. And they need to approve the address, make sure that the address is good, make sure that that it's not ghetto, or it's going to be a place of home where you're going to fuck up and do something bad. You get me? Mm-hmm. So yeah. Bro, I go ahead and the only family member that I got out here is my sister. The rest of my family, they all live in like Florida. My mom lives out there. And my sister works for the NYPD. So, of course, my luck is it just gets better and better and better. My sister works for the NYPD, and the day that everybody's getting like their address approved, and everybody's address gets approved, but mine's. The caseworker comes up to me and she's like, well, Mr. Tavares, unfortunately, due to the fact that your sister works for the NYPD and there's a firearm and this and that, and number one, you're, as a parolee, you're not allowed to associate yourself with anybody in that department. You're not allowed to be around firearms. You're not allowed. So I'm just like, bro, I can't go to my only family member's house. I couldn't go to my girls because my girl was living with her mom. She was living with her mom, her sister, her brother. Like, they don't got no room for me. Yeah. And parole only approves addresses that is like immediate family. Yeah. So, bro, I got no family out here. Guess what these motherfuckers end up doing to me, bro? I couldn't go to my sister's house. Guess what they do to me? They go ahead and I end up getting sent to a fucking shelter, Bellevue. So when I got graduated, everybody was able to go home, but one person, bro. My ass had to go to a shelter. Bro, you know how degrading it is? Like, not only did I have to go and do all this bullshit and I got recycled and all of that, now it's like I gotta go to a shelter. I got no other family that I'm able to give an address to. And that's exactly what ended up happening, bro. I remember coming out. The first day, they give you 24 hours to report. You got to report to parole. And you go to I go to Bellevue. When you go to Bellevue, that's in the city of Manhattan. And they give you like a little paper, like a little voucher. So you're in Bellevue. You're probably there for like 5 hours. And then they send you to Randall's Islands. So now you got to go to Randall's Island. Bellevue is in Midtown. I think it's around like 28th Street. I don't know where Bellevue, where that shit is at, but it's like Midtown, I want to say, more or less. Randall's Island is right in Harlem. And you got to take the bus and take the bridge, all that shit. Bro, I get to Randall's Island. And if you've been there and you ever went through the process, you pretty much go to a crack house. That's how you pretty much describe that. That's crazy. It's a fucking crack house where you have the lowest of the lowest and the bummers of the bummers and the crackheads of the crackheads in a dorm. So they put you in a fucking dorm, literally, like almost jail with like 50 beds, and you're there with like niggas that are fucking shooting up drugs. Niggas that don't shower, niggas from the train. Mind you, when you're in jail, at least one thing that niggas do, Jack, is that you gotta be a clean nigga in jail. You can't be in jail and be a dirty nigga, because niggas will kick you the fuck out the crib or kick you outside of the wherever you're staying at, whether you're in a cell or like, they're not gonna jack your shit. They're gonna fuck you up and you're gonna get kicked out. And his shelter's not like that, bro. Like, niggas do whatever the fuck they want. Like, so, bro, my first day home, they put me in this fucking crack house. And I remember I just laid down and, bro, I fucking cried like I never fucking cried in my life, bro. Like, I'm a real emotional nigga, as you guys could clearly see, but... Imagine, and I want you guys to like literally take a second and just be like, yeah, that would kind of fucking mind fuck the shit out of me. I'm living this crazy ass lifestyle where, I'm making all this money. I'm living this lavish life. I'm balling out, rock star, whatever the case is. I go ahead, I lose it all. Everything gets taken away from me. I go to jail. I end up fucking going through that shock shit. End up getting restarted, and now I'm in a fucking shelter with a whole bunch of crackhead niggas. I got no money. Everything has been taken away from me. Every asset, every dime, anything in the bank, anything that had my name associated to it was taken away from me. I can't be with my family's house because the only family member I have is NYPD. So I broke down and I'm here like, yo, this cannot be life. Like, this really, really can't, bro. Like, how fucked up? Like, at that point, I'm really thinking like, yo, who the fuck did I kill? Because like my karma still hasn't ended. Bro, I'm in a fucking crack house. Like, this is the lowest of the lowest. So, bro, I'm in the crack house and I remember I stood there for like, I think it was like 72 hours. I was there for 72 hours. They let you leave, but you got to be back at a certain time. You got to be back by like 9 o'clock at night. Or if not, they take your bed and they give it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. So you had to be there. So, my routine when I first got home, at this point, my girl didn't know that I was home. I didn't speak to her. She didn't know. I know she probably thought it was something to do with shock or something, but I haven't called her. She doesn't know anything. And I remember those 2 days, I would go ahead. I had one of my boys that I had met up. So I would stay with him, chill with him, and then he'll drive me back to the shelter, whatever the case is. And After the 72 hours, they ended up giving me a bed and they put me in YMCA in Brooklyn. They put you in a YMCA, which is pretty much like a shelter, but it's like a little bit nicer, you could say. It's still a fucking crack house because you still got all the crackheads there. You still got all the, And bro, they send me all the way in Brooklyn. I was all the way by like downtown Brooklyn. So now I'm in downtown Brooklyn. I'm mad far away. All my people's in like Queens and shit. So I'm like, fuck, I'm mad deep from everybody. They told me that in order for you to go ahead and get out the shelter, you got to have your own money and prove that you have a place and you have an income. Parole, is on it. So they got to make sure that you're there. So every day, bro, I had to be back in this fucking shelter by 9 o'clock. Make sure that I'm there. If I wasn't, they let parole know. And if parole finds out, I get fucking violated. So the first thing I ended up doing when they finally put me in YMCA, which, at this point, yes, I got my freedom back. I'm like, fuck it. I got to be grateful at least. You can't be negative about it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, bro. I got my freedom. It is what it is. I know myself. I know I'm going to get back on my feet. So after that first week that I'm finally in the YMCA, I go ahead. I hit up my girl. At this time, with this girl, we weren't really, how would I say it? Towards the end of Shock, once I got restarted, I'm not gonna lie, me and this girl, like, you could kind of, when people like just start shifting away, like I felt like the kind of like the energy wasn't the same. Yeah. She wasn't picking up my calls as often. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, I'm a very realistic guy. I'm gonna wait 3 years. Is a girl gonna wait for you 3 years? Probably not. You get what I'm saying? And, I try to be, I try not to be naive in the sense that if I'm a bitch and my nigga goes in for 3, I don't think I'm gonna wait. Maybe a year. I think that's doable. Probably 2 if you're a real ride or die. So at that point, bro, towards the end of my bid, I'm not gonna lie, I would always have my sister and my boy like, yo, go look at my girl's Instagram, see what she's doing. Like, what is she posting? What is that? This and that. And she'd be like, yo, I think she in dinner, but I don't know. And then, I started kind of catching the hint. Yeah. All right, she fucking somebody else. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro. Like, it's, bro, I'm locked up 3 years. That's a very fucking long time. So I go ahead and I meet up with her, and wow, that was, like, wow. Like, I'm fucking free. I get to grab you. I hug you. I kiss you. I remember she just fucking broke down and said, I'm sorry, baby. Da-da-da-da-da, this and that. I know I probably fucked up, but I love you. You're the love of my life. And I'm just there like, nah, I love you too, bitch. Like, I really do. Like, I really, like, nah, bro. Like, I really, like, fucking. I'm like, yo, I know you did what you did. It is what it is. But, bro, I love you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We just been through so much that it's just like, so at this point, wow, I ended up having fucking sex for after 3 years. That was different. So I kind of, it's like a little virgin and shit. So we end up fucking, and again, I'm like a little fucking lovebird at this point. Again, I'm like, baby, I love you. Whatever you did, like, whatever, I'm gonna just put it past me. Like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna, I go ahead, I tell her, she's like, yo, so what are you gonna do? You're in a shelter. I'm sorry, baby, you can't stay in my house because of that. So I'm like, nah, don't worry, you know me. I end up calling some guy and I'm like, babe, I'm going to get a job. Like, do whatever. The first job I end up getting is my boy was like, yo, bro, I got some niggas that need some niggas for demolition. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, all right, whatever, bro. Beggars can't be choosers, bro. Like, you just got to, bro, if anybody's ever done demolition, you a demolition worker, bro. I salute you. I respect you. I jack your hustle. That's by far, I think, one of the most hardest jobs in the motherfucking world, bro. Like, you go in there and you're like breaking down walls, you're breaking down cement, you're fucking getting filthy, you're just fucking getting dirty. And bro, I was doing that. I did that. That was the first job that I ended up getting like about a week after getting home. And I was making $120 for 9 hours of work, working like a straight slave. Like when I mean like, bro. And then the fucked up part is that the owner of the demolition company, this is how fucked up it was. I just came home. At this point, I'm jacked. I'm big. They'll be like, they would always be like, yo, muscle man, I need you to da-da-da-da-da. Don't make me carry all the heavy shit, bring up all the stuff. Like I was the slave, my nigga. I'm jacking it. At this point, I'm just like, wow, I'm the strong man. So bro, literally I would work 9 hours and go straight to the shelter. And then whatever day, I think when I first came, I was working 6 days a week. And I would go and I would get on the train and then I'll get on the bus. I'll meet my girl. It was a crazy commute because I was fucking in downtown Brooklyn. It'll take like about an hour and a half and I'll take the bus. And then I would like chill in the street with my girl because my girl don't got an open crib and I don't have a crib and I don't got no family out here. So we were like, like chill in the park. And what else we would do? We would like chill in the park and like just be in the street, bro, like straight high school shit. But, at this point, bro, I'm mad vulnerable. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm with my baby. Like, I'm over here working like a little slave, making $120 a day. And I did that for like about a month. And I just remember one day I was in the bus and I just broke down to my girl. I'm like, yo, babe, this is not me. I can't do this shit, bro. I'm fucking making $120. Like, this is just not, like, this cannot be my life, bro. Like, I don't know. I told her, like, yo, I don't know if I did any bad to anybody, if anybody wished me bad, but it's like, I'm going through all this shit. I'm in a fucking shelter. I lost everything. Like, one of the things about me getting locked up was, when you came out, I didn't know like how much of a psychological fucked up post the shit is. Cause like, when I came home, all I would do is like reminisce, like, damn, bro, I had the bag. I made so much money and now I'm making sometimes they'll pay us just 100.
And you came out during the pandemic. So you came out and there was no party.
Yo, and then that's another thing. So, yo, that's another part about the whole situation. So it's like, I'm coming out, niggas got no parties. Yeah, there's nothing to do. You can't do nothing. There's COVID. So the shelter process is even crazier. And that, all these restrictions. So I'm like, yo, I come to this world where now is like, it's a whole different norm out here. Like, bro, like psychologically, bro, like, if I wasn't strong-minded, bro, like that shit could have
you're like really fucking crazy strong. Though that shit will break so many fucking people, bro.
Guys,
so drugs, suicide,
mind you, I got no clothes. I remember not, I love you. I love my sister. I remember she went ahead when I first came home. She's like, look, I don't got too much money, but here I'll give you like $200-$300. And, if you want, and we go to the mall and I'm like, yo, let's go to Target so I could get the best money's worth. And I went to Target and I fucking bought myself, I remember it was like 2 pair of jeans, like a few undershirts, a hoodie. And I bought myself like a little Target, all from Target, bro. No cab and no nothing bougie, no nothing, like everything from Target. So when I came out of work that day, bro, and I remember I was in the bus and I broke down on my girl, I'm like, yo, like, this is not the life. I know I wasn't put in this world to literally have to go through all this. And like, I don't know if somebody did bad to me, like they're wishing bad on me, or if my karma is so bad that I'm literally still haven't done paying for what I did, bro. Cause I'm still going through it, bro. Now I'm in a fucking shelter. So I'm working there for about a month or so. The plans was very simple. I told my girl, look, babe, you're working, save up your money. I'm going to save up my money. And then we go ahead and, we move out and we get our own little spot. She's like, yo, I'm with it. My girl was bartending at the time. So, she's saving up her money. And bro, I saved up my money for like about a month and a half. And God willingly, I saved every dime. I remember I saved everything. Like literally, I wouldn't buy myself nothing. Like they would give food in the shelter, and I'll be so cheap not to save. And one thing really good about me is that when it comes down to money management, I'm really good with that. Like I know how to like. There's people that come across money, I don't know what the fuck to do with, or they'll blow it in a second.
You were reading stocks, bro. You were reading stocks.
Yeah, So I always had that discipline, you could say. So I went ahead and I saved every dime. And I remember like a month and a half later, my girl had saved up. I'm like, yo, babe, let's go half and half. I think at that time, I think I had like I saved up in a month. I think I saved up like 1,800, like 2,000. I was able to save up. So my girl was able to save up about the same thing. And we ended up getting a little studio basement apartment. So we ended up moving to Maspet. We ended up moving together. I'm still working at the demolition. And then I ended up coming across, like, once I moved out and I was able to get my own place, parole approved it. Obviously, they had to go look at the apartment. They saw it. They approved it. I finally got to leave the shelter. I stayed in the shelter for almost 3 months because even though I was able to get the apartment like 2.5 months later, you still got to wait for them to release you, for parole to jack the address where you're at. So it's like, So I'm literally in the shelter for like, actually, no, I was in the shelter for like 3.5 months. So I ended up being in the shelter for 3.5 months. I ended up moving to Maspet with my girl. We ended up moving to like a small little basement. We started saving money. And I ended up bumping into one of my friends. He works at a dealership, and he ended up offering. He was like, "Yo, bro, if you want, like, come. You could work at the dealership, and I'll put you to work or try to do something to at least try to make money." You get what I'm saying? And I was like, "Yo, you know what? I'm gonna do it, bro, because this demolition shit, this is not me, bro. Yeah. Like that shit was torture, bro. It was like straight slavery, and I just felt so degraded." Amen. Again, if you do that kind of line of work, bro, I respect you. Why? Because I've been in those shoes, and to know that you're literally working nonstop for 9 hours and you're making fucking pennies. Cause that's one thing. There's niggas that do that crazy construction and they're working at a fucking union, but they're fucking making the bag. Yeah. Or they're making good ass money. Yeah. Nigga, I'm walking out with $100, bro. And out of the $100 in transportation, since I had to take bus and train, I was spending mad bread. So I was probably seeing like, and then, bro, I was probably seeing like $80 a day, if that. You get me? So, bro, it was retarded. So I went through all that shit, and my boy ends up offering me again, working with the dealership, and I was like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. So I go. I end up working with him. I end up working at the dealership with my boy. I did that for like another month or so, and bro, at this point, I'm like, yo, I gotta think outside the box. I'm telling my girl, like, yo, babe, should I try to do the drink thing again? Like, but then she's like, but babe, parole be coming to the house. You can't have liquor and all that shit in the machines and all that bullshit. So I'm like, damn, bro, you're right. I'm like, yo, I don't want to work for nobody. Like, this is not what I want to do. And I remember one day, bro, I got home. And she was like, yo, you good? Like, you are? And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm thinking I got to do something like outside the box. I got to do something. And I remember I was going through my phone and I'm like, yo, bro, I can't do the drinks, obviously, because the whole situation with parole and everything. I'm hot, I'm fresh, I'm fresh out. And when I got my phone, amen to fucking technology, when I was going through my phone, I was able to back up my iCloud from right before I got locked up. So that was dope. So when I go through my phone, I go ahead. How many contacts do you see there that I have in total?
4,825.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I have I had stupid clientele for the drinks.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I know mad people, bro.
Holy
like, what
crap.
the fuck can I do? Bro, I don't know what the fuck. I guess the entrepreneur in me just like kicked in, whatever. And I go ahead and I told my girl, babe, I got an idea. I think I'm gonna throw a fucking party, bro. I'm gonna throw a party and I'm gonna try to see if I can make some profit out of it. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, nah, right now there's no parties. It's fucking COVID. People still want to go out, like, you know, and then shout out to my boy Little J and shit. Don't worry. I know you was one of the first niggas I started. He was doing it afties in Jamaica. And I'm like, yo, these niggas is making the bag low key. Honestly, there's nobody out there. So it's like, you know, so I'm like, bro, if that nigga could do it, bro, you best believe I could do this shit. Yo, I don't know what the fuck got into me, man. I went ahead. I'm like, yo, I'm going to come out with an entertainment shit. It got to be something lit. It got to be something fucking popping. And I go ahead and I tell my girl, babe, what do you think about Project X? She's like, oh, that's dope. Isn't that like that movie with that crazy party? I'm like, exactly. See where I'm getting to? The best motherfucking party. So I go ahead and I'm like, that's it. I got the name, Project XCNT. And I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do an after and try it. So I go ahead. I started looking around for like if there's any spaces, like, you know, any like underground shit that somebody's willing to rent me, and I'll just bring in the liquor and, you know, do the party myself. And bro, I ended up bumping into one of my boys, and one of my boys is like, yo, I got a spot that is this big. I'm like, yo, my nigga, rent that shit to me and let me do a party, bro. I'll give you whatever you ask for. I know that I could do good. Bro, I remember we go ahead and I end up doing a fucking little afties and like maybe a small little spot like this. And I remember that night I walked out with like $3,000 in profit. I bought the liquor. I ended up hitting up a few of my homegirls that I know that do bottle girls. I ended up getting the DJs, and I'm like, yo, this is a fucking no-brainer, bro. I go ahead and I end up fucking walking out of there with $3,000. So you already know my head I was just like, holy shit, what the fuck? I just made 3 bands right now. I'm lit. So I go ahead. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm doing this shit by myself. I know if I bring in more people, I can make more bread. So I go ahead and I reach out to one of my boys, one of my DJ boys. Shout out my boy Wildlife. I go ahead and I hit him up and I'm like, yo, my nigga, bro, I got a venue. I did a party, bro. I made the fucking bag. Yo, if you want, let's fucking team up and let's get more promoters and let's do this shit. He's like, yeah, nigga, fuck it. I'm down to make, you know, everybody's hungry at this point, you know, and there's no party at the club or anything. So I go ahead. I end up teaming up with him. I end up teaming up with one of my other boys, my boy Nelson. Shout out my boy Nels. And we go ahead and I remember, bro, we did a fucking party and we fucking, bro, in profit, we made like fucking like $7,000 in profit. So we just, at that point, I'm thinking like, yo, bro, I'm about to get rich off this shit. Like this money's just different. But then, you know, obviously then a lot more people started seeing, and then they started doing their own after parties, you know? So now there was like more competition. Don't get me wrong. I was still eating. So I did about a month and a half of that straight. When I was booking the DJs, my girl would tell me like, babe, why won't you put yourself on the flyer and do shit, you know, do that. And I'm like, no, baby, you know, I'm on parole. I'm way too fresh. I don't want to like, God forbid, they see that I'm on a flyer and I'm DJing. So I would just do the bookings for the DJing and promote, and I'll just promote other DJs. And then what I would do is that I would use my girl's social media. She was a bartender, so, you know, she had a lot of people that would follow her. So I would go on my girl's Instagram. A lot of people would know I didn't have Instagram for an ill minute when I first came home because I was so scared to reactivate it. I would go ahead and I'll use my girl's page and I'll do the whole Project X, afties, this and that. And I did that for like about 2-3 months. I started really getting back on my feet. Then the problems started happening with my girl. Once, I felt like when I got home, she was very comfortable at the fact that I was this nigga making like $100 a day, 120. So she kind of had me by the balls, and I'm like very vulnerable. Exactly. She's like, yo, this nigga looking good. He ain't making no money. I got him off of my time, this and that. And just like, so once she started like seeing that, all right, now he's starting to make money, then what happened? Then the arguments start happening, and then the trust starts going downhill. And then we just started like, it just started getting to a point, bro, where it was just like, toxic ain't even the level, bro. Like, it was, the toxicity was just stupid, retarded. You got me? And don't get me wrong, when I had came home, I had given my girl a promise ring. Like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna marry you. Like, like I was very like, I was stupid in love. Don't get me wrong. Was I still in love when I was still doing afties? Absolutely. But once I feel like, and and I know she's gonna be watching this, but I felt like once I started like elevating or like started doing good, like it's just like a lot of problems started happening, and I'm just like, yo, bro, I really haven't been able to finally been on my feet for God knows what, 3-4 years. And it's like, the last thing I need is somebody to hold me down, bring me down, give me toxicity, be fight. And then it started getting physical. She started laying her hands on me. And it was like, oh, why are you coming home at this time? So it was just like, and she wouldn't understand that, once I did a party and it ended at 4, then it's not like a regular promoter that ends at 4 and then they're going to have the printout with everything. Like, you have to do everything manually and do, so I would get home at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you feel me? So for her, she wasn't, oh, you getting home at 7 probably because you fucking the next bitch. All right. So it just started like really, so, and then like about 2-3 months in, I go ahead, I'm like, yo, fuck that. I'm a DJ a party. I've been good with parole. They know I've been working, like, like, because I was still doing the regular 9-to-5 job though, even though once I started doing the afties. Nice. Yes, I was still working at the dealership. This is what now I'm just working at the dealership. So I'm doing the afties and the dealership. So, that way it looks good on paper. I got a pay stub and everything, whatever. So I went ahead, bro, and I remember I DJ'd my first part. I DJ'd like, 2 months in? I went ahead, I started DJing. Everybody loved it. Like, yo, bro, you should get back. And I'm just like, yo, you know what? From this day on, fuck it. I'm just going to start DJing all my afties. Like, I fucking might as well. Like, and I save myself fucking DJ money, So obviously at first it was a little bumpy road. I haven't fucking been in the turntables like, at this point, like 3 years, 3.5 years, 4 years. So my music is all outdated. Like, I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing that much, but it's muscle memory. Once you know how to do it, like, and bro, it was just like, I just started getting better, and better. And I remember at that point, like 2-3 months in, they were talking about that they were going to start opening spots up at a certain capacity and everything. So I'm like, fuck, the afties money is about to end. Fuck, I was making a bag. So I end up continuing doing the afties I squeezed it as much as I can. And then the spots started opening up back up. And then I remember I still went the promoter route. I took a venue. I started promoting a venue and also DJing my venue as well. But now when things started opening back up, now I started like any friend promoters that I had, like, yo, book me, like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I would have like maybe a gig a week, whatever the case is. And bro, from there it just started exponential. The
karma ended.
And then yeah, bro. And then I feel like, and then I ended up breaking up with my girl, bro. Like, I was just like,
I mean, like, it makes sense because like, bro, like, it's like you were in a toxic environment for so long. And like, when you start to see that, like, you know.
And then to come back, not only, I'm thinking like, yo, bro, I just went through hell. Like, do I really want to be dealing with some like craziness? Like, you know,
I feel like the story you told us.
Maybe it's also separation. Like y'all need to just be separated for a bit. You know, who knows? Story not over,
I feel like she should be happy because like you literally went through so much, but you finished what you started, and then you started like your own like hooky parties or after parties.
Yeah, the whole entertainment.
You start from the bottom, bro. Yeah, like nothing, but then you had something
zero, bro. Zero. And I know a lot of people. You know, I know probably people when they see me when I got back on my feet. I know a lot of people probably thought like, oh, Swag probably got like family with money, or he maybe had like a little stash when he came home. Like, bro, I came home to nothing, bro. Like, I came home to a fucking bed to the shelter. That's what the fuck I came home to.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cause I didn't even know that.
You feel me? That's what I came home to, and $0 motherfucking dollars.
Bro, that's crazy.
And then working for $100 a day.
I had no idea that you went through that, bro. So
you know, a lot of people dead ass don't know that like it wasn't. Nothing was handed to me. Nothing was like I literally had to like literally bust my ass, and if it wasn't again from the kind of work ethic that I have and for, you know, the shit that I do, like, you know, setting goals and just being like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then, bro, I probably would have been a bum ass regular nigga. You feel me? Because don't get me wrong. Once I started DJing again, I had a lot of people was like, yo, bro, you haven't been relevant like 3.5 years, bro. Like, I don't think niggas is gonna be jacking your shit. And I'm like, I bet. And I feel like that really gave me like a lot.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like fuel.
Yeah,
all that down shit. I'm like, bet. Oh, word. I say less, man. Say less. And that really, really made me like, bro, because I really had to prove to a lot of people.
Bro, look at all the people during COVID that just sat on the couch, didn't do shit, bro.
Absolutely.
You sat here, went through fucking hell.
And not only that, I also, not for nothing, low key, I wanted to shit on the people that kind of shitted on me that I really had a lot of love for. And I really wanted to like, I wouldn't say the word is prove, but I really wanted to show them like, yo, bro, y'all niggas probably think I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna just be a regular bum nigga now that I'm not selling drugs. So I was like really, really fucking determined. I'm just like,
you proved them wrong.
Like, yeah, bro. Relentless. Not only that, you know, like to a lot of people, because a lot of people, I'm not gonna say, bro, a lot of people doubted me and a lot of people shitted on me. You know, a lot of people was talking shit about me too when I was in jail, and I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, they still are, and it is what it is, because you know, at the end of the day, all I can say, bro, I did my time, bro. I did my time, and I did real, like, you know, crazy time. You get me? And, you know, there's always one side of the world that, you know, some people's always going to hate on you and talk shit. But, bro, I went through it, and I could legitimate, you guys really got to hear, like,
the full story, bro.
Like, full on. Like, it wasn't like, you know, like I really went through it, you know. I could have easily just went ahead and snitched and done a year in jail.
Yeah.
Bro, anybody knows that, bro, if you would have snitched, bro, if I would have went ahead and snitched, I could have easily just done a year.
Yeah.
I've been out in 8 months. You get me? No one's gonna do all the time that I went ahead and did. You got me? And for any of you dumb bozo motherfuckers that might have any kind of doubt, all right? You know, I'm gonna give you some public information, all right? Every criminal court case is public record. Let me give you the definition of that, all right? Public record means that it's out to the public, which means if you type in my name, and I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna give you my name, Joel, Joel, last name Tavares, Tavarez as in zebra, okay? If you go ahead and you put in my name, okay, public records will go ahead and pop up. And if God forbid you're doubting, like, you know what I'm saying, maybe this nigga did snitch or anything like that, look it up and holla at me and check the record. You got me? Because I know there's a lot of haters out there that be like, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing about society, that you are able to look this shit up. And if anybody has any kind of doubts on my story or feel some type of way, look it up, all right, to see if everything coincides, you know. So definitely do your diligence out there for all you little
Alex,
fucking
what do you
smart
think,
ass.
like after like hearing the story for the first time, like what do you like, how do you feel about it? Or like,
yeah, he definitely didn't know I was in a shelter. And nobody,
he kind of filled me in.
Like only him, like only he's the only.
And I'm thinking like people are going crazy in their houses for 2 months during the pandemic. Like, people were committing suicide because they couldn't be home anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's wild to me.
I go ahead, I have to come out.
Yeah, like if you're going to jail and they tell you, yo, 3 years in your house, what's the problem? So I don't know a lot of things. That's
crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
It's not crazy that you went through it. Crazy that you like didn't come out fucked up.
That's a fact.
Psychologically, like as a human, if you don't go through this type of stuff, like I get people from like back home saying, "Oh, it's nothing," you know, like army in Colombia is crazy, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but like here, like we don't go through any of this shit. Nah. So like for you to come out and like when I saw Swag again in the Afties, that's when I first even saw him.
Word, that's when we bumped back into each other.
I was going through a little rough situation too. I was working at one of them and I saw him and I was like, oh shit. Like, you look good. Like, you know, I didn't even know you were out.
No, as soon as I came out, one of the fucked up thing I need to tell you guys that happened to me when I was in shock too is that when you're in shock, they make you shave your head too. So I had, for the people that know me, I used to have long ass fucking hair to like here and shit. I used to have the long ass braids and shit, you know? So I cut my hair and that shit, like, that fucked me up too. But I'm not gonna lie, it helped me because, you know, I came home, I rebranded myself, like, I gave myself this whole different image and this different look and everything. So I was like, fuck it, you know? So it actually, it helped out. And a lot of the people was like, nah, your new look, you look way, you know, you look better.
Yeah, so today, like a week ago, my boy's like, that DJ's mad good. Like, who the fuck is that? And I'm like, that's Swag. And then he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, bro, he cut his hair.
Yeah, I know, nigga, because he didn't see me. A lot of people, you know, remember me from like the long ass hair and shit, so they never.
Like I said, I think you still carry that trauma around with you. It's always gonna be with you.
No, that's always gonna be inside, bro. But it's like everything that I went through, like in regards to shock, me getting snitched on and having to go to jail, to me having to come out, to $0 to zero everything, to have to go to a shelter, like that will always be, you know, that will always be in the back of my head. And you know, but it just makes me very grateful. You know, I'm very grateful for what I have. And the crazy part about it is that I know this is just the beginning. At the end of the day, you know, my career literally just pretty much started.
You're still young as fuck, bro.
Just not only that, bro. I just been DJing at this point since after like 8 months. You get me? Yeah. So it's like
we literally signed the contract a month and a half ago.
Yeah, so
and that's when it really started, and we're just fast forward right now.
You signed a contract?
You're pretty well known.
Yes.
A contract to what? Like.
As a teenage manager.
Just management in general. No, you always gotta have some kind of.
I've had bad experiences. He has too. So I'm like, let's just.
Yeah, no, I do.
We're really good friends, but let's get it. You know, let's. Get
I get that. I get that 1,000%. But yeah, no. What I think that people could really take from this podcast is one, like, dude, the amount of respect, admiration, you know what I'm saying, that I have for you right now is like really out the roof. And I think a lot of people can see that. Obviously, your story is public record, so it's like not bullshitting. You're not bullshitting what you're saying, bro. The way you even say it is something you're recalling. It's not something you're just making up on the spot type shit. So like that just get that out the way. That's great, bro.
If I could make a fucking movies like
that's what I was gonna say. Number two, I was gonna be like, yo,
just give me that Oscar. Send me that Oscar, baby. Like, you know, that's why, yo, it's funny because a lot of people, and now even more probably now, so once you see the set, you know, people see the second part, like a lot of people be like, yo, my nigga, like this is a movie, bro. Because like, just imagine seeing that, like.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do like vlogs? Are you gonna do content? What's the?
What do you mean? In regards to what?
To like building your brand.
With DJing, bro, the plans right now, man, my plans is this. I know it's only a matter of time. Definitely want to make it for the radio. I think I would do very good. I definitely have that voice. I have that, you know, that, so the main objective here, I definitely want to make it to the radio. That's always been my dream since I was young. And then my second dream has always been owning like a big nightclub. I have been looking. I do want to, you know, buy like a club or a lounge. That's always been like one of the main things, you know. So that's definitely one of the objectives, making it to the radio. And then, bro, I'm just gonna right now we're just expanding. And
what's the point of really getting in behind the radio? What's like what's
the point? Well, at the end of the day, it's just like once you have a brand like that backing you up, any kind of radio station, it's like, number one, you know, your price is doubling. You know, you're charging triple. So
why not start your own like radio? Why don't you start like your own podcast? Essentially, like set up your own thing. That way, you work on your time.
True, but it's like I know things like this. Like, you know, if I wanted to do like duplicate something like this, it takes a lot of time, and I feel like already
the amount of bookings we have and stuff.
No, it's just like
that's what I'm saying. Like you guys have it set up, you guys have somebody running it. You know what I'm saying? And then you come in, you press a button, just like right now. You talk to whoever you. I'm sure you meet a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So you ask them about their story or whatever. Boom, done recording. You hired the guy. He's editing it for you. Blah,
that's
blah,
true. No, it's definitely it's definitely been brought up to me, but. You know, one of the issues I used to have when I was young, because I've always been an entrepreneur, is that, and my ex would tell you this, is that I'll be like, yo, babe, I want to do this, and I also want to do this, and I want to do that, and then do this, and then you're just like trying to do this, and this, and then you're not doing something 150%. Right now, like, I stopped the whole promoting thing. Like, I was like, you know, it's like I'm either a promoter or I'm a DJ. So now it's just DJ on full throttle. You get me? So it's like, this is what I want to dedicate like 150% of my time. Once I start like detouring myself to doing this and that, then I feel like that's going to take time and energy from my main focus. And it's not going to make me reach certain goals.
Also, when you sign to a radio, you have access to a lot of music industry connections that you can't do that by doing it by yourself. You can maybe, but like it's another world.
It's another world. Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking, because I don't really know.
And another thing, one of the main things that, you know, might as well just spill the beans right now, but I am working on music. I've been producing a few tracks. I do have an artist, which is actually my cousin. My cousin, he sings his ass off. Shout out my brother Joanorico. Tell him, Swag Cartel Records. I got some crazy heat coming out. Like, when I tell you music that is just gonna have people go wow, and I feel like that's when I'm really, 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 really gonna explode to the next level. So we're working on that, and I'm thinking realistically, by the end of spring, we should be coming out with the music. We got the music recorded and everything, but that's when I'm going full throttle. I do have a record label that I did start. This was prior to me getting locked up. It's called Swag Cartel Records. So you know, we're taking that back out. And then I'm putting, you know, a lot of focus on my cousin. So it's just going to be DJing and the artist, and that's it. And just elevating with the music. And I know with the kind of content and quality and the kind of material that we're going to be coming out with, I feel like that shit is just I'm going to really blow the fuck up. I'm going to blow up regardless, but that's just going to be like that extra hot sauce on it, which is really going to be like, oh shit, like this nigga got some popping ass music. Nice. You get me? So, you know, and just being able to leverage off my platforms and my connections and everything. So, you know, and I got the hustle, man. I feel like once you got the hustle, bro, you could do anything in this world that you want, bro. And I'm living proof to it, bro. You can literally right now, you be watching this shit, making $0. You choose to make $0. You get me? So, because if you got some hustle behind you, you easily get up and you'll make some money. You just got to grind. Fact. And that's something I'm really good at. So I know with the mentality and everything I've gone through and the discipline that I've gained throughout the years and the, you know, everything that I've been through, that I feel like I have the kind of mentality that no is not part of my vocabulary. You feel me?
You can do everything. You can do anything at this point. Because you were literally like you said, you were broken down like mentally to the point where it's like nothing that comes your way now is literally gonna compare to literally what you went through. You know
that's a fact.
It's like, so that's always pushing you forward. But yo, this is a great podcast. Thank you for coming back on. DJ Swag, thank you so much, bro. This was an amazing podcast.
It was amazing, bro.
Already know. It was good. For those motherfuckers that don't follow me, you already know where to follow me. Follow me on Instagram, DJ Swag NYC, baby. Once again,
we could do a part 3.
DJ Swag NYC.
Whenever y'all want to come back, bro, you know.
We should do like an update, like in 6 months, like, you know, how's it going in the career, the journey, and everything. So we definitely gonna come back. You know, you guys. You know, you guys are the audience out there. You guys been loyal since part 1. So we'll definitely come back in like 6 months, let y'all niggas know what the fuck, you know, how's it been, you know, since I've been home and you know, the whole journey and everything. So, but yeah, man, we got some big moves, man. So everybody, you know, just stay tuned. Again, follow me on the social media. Come to my parties. I promise you I'm the fucking vibe, aka Turn Up King. I promise you I'll turn your ass up. It don't matter what kind of mood you in. I really know what I'm doing, all right? I'm really gifted on my craft and I believe in it. Not only that, Swag Cartel. We got that in the making right now with the whole Joe Anorico. So we got some big moves with the music and, you know, sky's the limit. And I promise you guys, this is only the beginning. Love you guys, everybody that's been loyal. Thank to you guys. And that's everything, man. All right. Stay tuned, guys. I will definitely come back. We come back in 6 months, you know?
Link on the description.
Facts.
You already know. Link on the description. You're going to have everything, all right?
All right, guys.
Shout out to everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Peace
right?
out. 2-hour
Bye.
podcast. Peace.